Hey guys, how you doing? So you're at a bar or a club or just at the store. You see a woman that you're interested in, then all of a sudden you want to go over there and talk to her. You see, talking to her is one thing, but getting sexual attention is another thing. And what we're going to talk about today is sexual attention and why it's more about you than it is the woman on this edition of Dating Tips. Hey guys, what's going on? Steve Dean Williams here. You know, I always believe when it comes to sexual tension in sex starts when you first meet a woman. It doesn't start when you're have your arm around her or you're kissing her, things like that. And we're going to talk about sexual tension. But how does one create sexual tension? And what are the things that you're going to have to do to create that? See, a lot of guys think that you have to do things to a woman or give her certain things to create sexual tension. You have to kind of barter or beg for her to want to sleep with you. Guys, for a lot of women out there, they love sex just as much as men do. The only issue and problem is that every guy they meet, they give them an opportunity to talk themselves out of the pussy or really talk themselves out of the date. Or hey, and not even getting even sexual attention at all. And for a lot of guys, when you meet a woman for the first time and there's no sense of self, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, a strong sense of self. Because if you are capable of doing things to her sexually and you are very confident in doing those things, you can build sexual tension faster than the guy who can't. And I'm not saying that you can't do it, but the thing that women see is that, look, okay, the way you are outside the bedroom is the same way she's going to perceive you in the bedroom. And if you're walking up to her, you're nervous, you stutter on your words, there's no confidence in you, she's going to realize that, you know what, if I get this guy in the bed, that means he's going to be a 2-minute man, a 3-minute man, or he's not going to satisfy me. But don't get me wrong, she will hunt you down and use you for what you have, but not what you can offer her. So one of the things we like to do, let's go to the screen right now and let's look at some of the things that happen when you meet a woman, y'all begin to interact and things like that. What happens when there is no sexual tension? These are some of the things that she does. Now, if you look right now, and when it comes to that, again, one of the things that she will do is she will avoid you at all costs, meaning that if there's an opportunity or she sees you or runs into you, whether it's at college or something like that, she's going to go the other way. If she knows that she has class with you, as soon as class is over, she's going to get up and leave because she doesn't want to talk to you because there's no interest. And outside of that, another thing is when you get in touch with a woman and she's not attracted to you and there's no sexual tension, is that she will never call or text you back. A lot of guys expect women to automatically fall in love with them just because they have nice cars, clothes, and money. It doesn't work that way. Also, she will keep her distance, meaning if y'all do go out or you go someplace together, what's going to happen is she is not going to get close to you. She's going to be on the other side of you in a way where, you know what, she's like, don't touch me. I don't want to have your hands on me, but I will take your food. Also, what will happen is that she will tell you that she's not looking for a relationship right now. Most women will, when a woman is interested in you, there are a million things that she would do to show you that she really wants to get with you. But when she sees that, you know what, hey, you're not the guy for me, she's going to let you know that, you know what, hey, you know what, I'm not looking for anybody right now. She doesn't care to know anything about you. When a woman really wants you, she's going to talk to you. She's going to want to peel the layers back because you become a man of mystery. And that's something that happens when there is sexual tension. When y'all together, she might look at other guys because if she's not interested in you, she's always looking for someone to give her what she needs. And that's that stiff ass dick. And she doesn't touch you or she doesn't ask you to go places. When a woman is really interested in you guys, she's going to ask you to go places. She's going to want to spend time with you because there is a certain chemistry that you have. But in order to understand sexual tension, you have to understand the first thing that you must create. And this is why I always say, guys, it's all about you. The first thing that you have to create with a woman to even get sexual tension is really getting her attention. If you cannot get her attention in the first few minutes of talking to her, you are going to fall in the category with a lot of guys who have to work their way up the mountain and try to seek her attention. Because if you cannot get her attention, you will not get her attraction. And if she's not attracted to you, there will not be any sexual tension. But with that being said, what I want to do is I want to talk about the 4 things that you guys are going to need to be able to establish the attraction and get her attention to to create that sexual tension. And we're going to talk about that right now. And see, one thing I always say for you guys is that it's very important to understand that what I'm telling you is just how it is. But there's a way to be able to get that sexual tension from her is by really knowing yourself and who you are and what you stand for. See, when a woman runs up on a guy and talks to him, because a lot of guys are scared or worried, they lack the confidence and they have all this anxiety, most women do not want to be with guys like that. I mean, let me ask you this question. If you came to visit me, or you went to go let's say you went to, I don't know, Disney World, I don't know, you just took a plane flight somewhere. You got on the plane and you looked in the cockpit, and the guys in the cockpit were blind and they were just feeling around the buttons and they didn't know what was going on. Would you get on that plane? Absolutely not, you wouldn't, because you don't feel sexually safe to be able to have that. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying in this analogy. See, when you act and show a woman that you don't know what you're doing, she's not going to feel sexually safe with you. And if she doesn't feel sexually safe with you, there is no sexual tension there. You see what I'm saying, guys? First, you've got to go ahead and get her attention. Then there's attraction, and then there's sexual tension there. And all that can happen early on when you know what you're doing. And that's why we need to discuss some of the things that you need to have. You need to equip with yourself. Because if you can equip these things with yourself, then your chances are better in creating the attention, the attraction, and also sexual tension. So the first thing that you would need right now is what I call the 4 elements and everything. The first thing is a self-definition, okay? How do you define yourself? How do you define your style? How do you define yourself sexually? What is it about you that makes you better than anybody else? What separates you from the pack? That's the first thing you need to know for yourself. It's not about her right now. This is all about you. The second thing that you're going to need is what I call a self-awareness and understanding. See, for a lot of guys out there, they're just not simply aware of why it is I do what I do. So how can you present yourself to a woman when you really don't even know the why behind the things that you do? A confident person knows the why. A confident person knows that, you know what, the pussy is mine. It's just a matter of when she's going to give it to me, because I know if I get hold of her as far as a text, a phone call, or a face-to-face thing, I'm going to intrigue her so much that she's going to want to get with me. I have no choice but to give it his dick. But the thing happens is when you have that understanding of yourself and understand why it is you do what you do. The third thing that you need is a self-concept. How do you see yourself? How do you, not how the world sees you, but how do you see yourself? Not only yourself outside the bedroom, but see how yourself inside the bedroom. Are you freaky? Are you nasty? Are you romantic? Are you dirty? Are you seductive? Or are you a combination of those things? And the why, what part of it, what part of you, why are you seductive? What is it about you that makes you so romantic? What is it about you that makes you so freaky? These are the things you must know about yourself before you run up on a woman, because if you cannot convey it to yourself, you're not going to be able to convey it to a woman. And the last thing is what is called self-focus. And what self-focus basically means is that at the end of the day, you are smart enough to go back after you go into your battles or meet women. You are smart enough to go back and look back and make adjustments. Women love guys who they cannot figure out. And a man that's having issues and problems, which technically a man doesn't. But in order to get that sexual tension, you need to figure things out. If you're trying a little bit of freaky on her and she's not down with that, and the next day you can tweak that to go to dirty, or you can tweak that to be nasty or seductive, or romantic. Any way, you have choices. But the man that can go back with self-focus and look at himself and see what is going on with him and the things that he needs to change and makes the proper adjustments, he is a guy that's going to change the game. So guys, remember, at the end of the day, it's not about her. It's about what you have and what you can present to her. Because if you have the confidence and if you have those 4 elements that I just described, you're going to not only get her attention, you're going to draw attraction. And not only that, there will be sexual tension because she is going to want what she can't have and what she can't understand. And by you being able to tell her who you are and what you are and what you represent, your chances are much better than getting her in the bed than the guy who doesn't know what he's doing. And then what he does is outside things like buy her dinners and drinks and bends over backwards and cupcakes and walks on eggshells to please her. So remember, guys, you can create sexual tension, but it has to come from you first. It's not when you first meet her. You must have this element with you when you meet her. So just remember, at the end of the day, guys, sexual tension is very important. And remember, it doesn't start when you first meet. It starts as soon as you wake up and walk out that door.